能否听清那仰望的人心底的孤独叹息？夜空中最亮的星，能否记起曾与我同行，消失在风里的身影？我祈祷拥有一颗透明的心灵和会流泪的眼睛，给我再去相信的勇气，越过谎言去拥抱你。每当我找不到存在的意义，每当我迷失在黑夜里，夜空中最亮的星，请照亮我前行。
The one big memory that I had from Beijing was being on the Great Wall of China, because I don't think a lot of us really knew that we were actually in China, and it didn't really hit us yet. But once we got on the wall, we realized, oh my gosh, we're across the world, we're in China, and I'm never gonna forget that feeling that I had when I first walked onto the wall and just looked around at everything and just thought, I can't believe I'm standing here.
我祈祷拥有一颗透明的心灵和会流泪的眼睛，给我再去相信的勇气，越过谎言去拥抱你。每当我找不到存在的意义，每当我迷失在黑夜里，夜空中最亮的星，请照亮我前行。夜空中
In the Muslim Quarter, we saw these cotton candy flowers that this guy makes, and it took him like 5 minutes to make this big flower. They'll probably show you back there, but it was really cool because we talked about it in class, and one lecturer was like, yeah, we can go find it, and we ended up doing that.
最亮的星，请照亮我。前行。如果要忘记你的眼睛，给我再去相信的勇气，去拥抱你。我找不到存在的意义，我迷失在黑夜里，夜空中最亮的星，请照亮我前行。
One of my favorite parts about the trip was when we visited Yangshuo, because you got to explore the smaller city aspect of the Chinese culture and you were more in touch with the natural surroundings of the land. Also, you got to eat the rice noodles, which was one of my favorite things I tried during the trip.
素被勾勒出情话，被风弄转淡，变成描绘的牡丹，一如你。
Our trip to China was fantastic. Being science-oriented, I found particularly interesting the geology which we got to see in southern China, in the Guilin area. It's karst topography, which means that there used to be a massive bed of limestone which was set there by geological uplift of an ancient ocean bed, and water has eroded it over time to form beautiful rolling hills and interesting caves. Particularly interesting is a land bridge which exists outside of Yangshuo, and somehow the calcite and limestone which make up the karst topography are able to hold up a massive land bridge. I personally suspect that there's something else inside of that land bridge, but that'll require more research to find out.
My favorite part about China was on June 30th, which is my birthday. We went to the mud bath, or we went to into the caves, and we went to the mud bath, and that was a lot of fun because we got to just hang around with all of our friends and just kind of relax for a little bit. And then later that night, at dinner, our tour guide bought us a cake for my birthday, and he paid for it and everything, and it was really sweet of him to do that. And it really made my trip, it really made me realize that this is a one-time opportunity. I'm having my birthday in China, and that was absolutely phenomenal.
A cool thing about being in China was we would have people coming up to us and they would ask us questions in English, and we would have the chance to respond to them in Chinese. And the conversation would go on like that, with them asking us questions in English and us responding in Chinese. And it was just a really cool way to communicate and practice our Chinese.
Experiencing China firsthand allowed me to realize how important it is to actually go somewhere and experience it firsthand, because without that, then you won't really fully understand how their life is in comparison to yours. Because in America, our lives are a lot different than almost anywhere in the world, just because we're so lucky for where we live. But you get a chance to really experience a day in the life of a real foreigner, and that'll help you really learn the language more, because you see how they use it and how it just gives you a different outlook on the way that your life is versus theirs, and how you learn the language because you see how they use it every day rather than just by textbook use.
Actually experiencing the immensity of the Chinese culture firsthand is such more interesting than looking at a picture in a textbook and a teacher teaching you about it. You're more involved. You're actually on top of the Great Wall and looking down off the mountain and seeing, actually thinking how these people put bricks on their back and hiked up the mountain and put these bricks down and making the Great Wall thousands of years ago. It's crazy. It makes me want to learn more about the culture, wants me to fully understand the culture in its immensity.
Traveling to China helped me better understand why parts of the culture are the way they are and how the culture connects to the characters, and this will make learning new characters come more easily to me.
I've always had interest in learning about different cultures, so actually going to China and seeing how they're living, how they're using their language in daily life and conversation made it so much easier to connect the dots from any questions I had in class, where would you use this, or how would this work? and stuff like that, and just seeing the language like in motion constantly just like helped me connect those missing puzzle pieces kind of. And so seeing the culture and actually being in China helped me figure out some questions that I didn't even know I had with the language and the culture, and now I understand so much more than I had before I had gone to the trip. And
I think anybody that is thinking about the trip, that is thinking, I don't know if I'm going to go, for me personally, you should definitely go on this trip and definitely take advantage of it.